It's ladies like what? It must be Sarah on the mic. With sweet little Holly, got the sugar, got the spice. We're keeping us tight, with guests on the night. Linked up with Urban Spirit Studio. That's right. And I'm not a rookie on this all-star team. Me and Holly get you hooked like we're fishing for green. This is home, never leaving us talent alone. Yes, it is my city, it's my throne.
Well, this one woman, she was saying also with a friend, like she's been struggling with regards to getting with somebody. So she asked her family to arrange a marriage for her. She wanted like a traditional Pakistani marriage.
Wow.
And because that's how hard it was. And obviously she knew this person's family.
Yeah.
And the family's brilliant. So it was like, you know what? Perfect stop.
Yeah.
So they were talking about it and everything. But apparently, because obviously she's saying she wants to make sure the person actually isn't a nut job. And basically he's been all over Instagram chatting with other women. And this is publicly as well, even though this marriage was being arranged and is from good stock. And it's sort of like she was saying, it's one of those where with social media and things, people kind of think that the grass is greener on the other side. Like how you were saying, Holly, like you met your partner through work. So I think because it was a face-to-face thing and you end up getting that.
Like we could get bored of texting because we've never texted. We even don't text now because we never did it. Whereas I feel like now in this generation, most relationships are over text.
Yeah.
They start over text. You meet people online and then you don't actually get to know each other properly. You don't see each other because why would you see someone when you can just text them?
Yeah.
It gets like that and then you never actually get that experience with someone. And then you're going to go for people because like texting is your relationship then.
Yeah. Do you think people took it up a lot on text then? Like with regards to like who they are? Because me, I always say I'm a very straightforward person and I feel like face to face I probably... If I was in that dating pool, I probably wouldn't be able to get a man because I'd be like, no, this is what I want, this is what I like, and done.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Back to that limited comment.
Whereas I think if I was texting, I'd be a little bit, try and be a bit more reserved with.
If I got the patience for it.
No, I can't be bothered. Like,
I also find with texting, I've had this before, where like you're waiting for someone to reply, they've not replied for 2 hours, and you're thinking, oh, you don't like me anymore, it's been 2 hours. And then it's
really they're just working.
Yeah, and then you get their message, but I'm like, right now I've got to leave it 3 hours.
Yes. Now it's a game. I don't want to get ego.
Yeah,
and I'm not thirsty, so let's not do that.
Mature. Whereas if you're a person, you never have that texting aspect. It's just normal. Like you don't have any of that silly, like childish rubbish.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, an actual relationship.
Exactly. And I think that's one problem with Hinge. Like you'll see people on their profiles, they'll say, "Oh, I don't want to keep this on Hinge. I want to move into like the 3D, the virtual world, like the real person." Because it's true. Because people will spend their lives just. Do you know what film it reminds me of? Do you remember the film where is it WALL-E, where everyone's fat and living on their chairs, and they are all living that virtual? It's WALL-E, isn't it?
Is it? I don't remember
in the virtual world, everyone's skinny and everyone looks beautiful and whatever. But when you actually look at them and take off their VR sets, they're all fat. And this one man is in love with this woman. You don't even know who she is, but because he's in the VR world, he's in love with her. But all they do is talk in the VR world. They never talk in reality. He's in his apartment somewhere. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's getting like. It's like,
it's like I feel like some people have bare banter when it comes to texting, and they can probably go backwards and forwards.
Exactly.
And in real life, and you'll be like, "You're dead."
Dead. The conversation's dead. You can't even look me in my face. Like, right about now, and it's not to say like, oh, we're all big-headed, or we're quite pretty females, but you'll have females that will get used to the filters, and they will live on a filter, and every picture's a filter. Like now, we haven't got any filters on. And I think people, when I've gone on dates before, they've been shocked like, oh, you actually do look like your photos. And I'm like, what have you been through? What have you been through?
Traumatized.
That you say, your first comment to me is, oh, you look like your pictures.
Oh, yeah, that's
scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at
yeah, they do.
Do you find as well, when it's over text, you have the whole like panic about meeting them then, and you have to meet them, which is horrible.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, you feel like you know someone over text.
You're
not overthinking it. You've got all the panic and the stressing about meeting them in person. Whereas if you're forced with them, like me,
I was forced to do it.
Forced.
She's not forced to stay though. You love that man.
I do love him.
She loves that man.
That makes me.
No, it's true. You get a bit panicked when you have to go meet that person in reality.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do we have? Will the banter be the same? Will the conversation be the same? With me, it will be because I am.
Yeah, you are who you are. But someone was basically talking about how you were saying about women, and we can go out and kind of, not to kind of pump ourselves up as women to say absolutely gorgeous, but bring it back to the whole like dick pic thing and how men are turned on by certain things and women just aren't. Someone made a comment about what they basically said was women can just go out on the street, and a man would say, oh wow, you're gorgeous, or you could be in a bar, oh you're beautiful, and we can literally just probably find a man at any time. But it's got that facts. But as a man, it's so much harder for them. So really, they're saying for women, it's so easy for us to go out and catch a man, but it's harder for a man to actually find a woman.
I've had this debate so many times because I have male work colleagues who are really good friends of mine, and we've had this debate. And one of them is fairly good looking. And I said, as a challenge, I think we should both go out and see how many numbers we can get.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, we'll film it. I said, how many numbers we can get? Because I said, I don't think it's as easy now in 2023 for women to get more numbers than a man. I think it's an equal playing field. Like, girls are more likely and more open to giving the number out as we are to receiving a number.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I said, I think we should do it, because he was like, no, women are different. Like, women are never just going to give the number freely just because they like the look of the man. You've got to stimulate the man. How are you going to stimulate the man? The music is blasting and
Yeah.
And I was just like, but if we like the look of you, we're going to want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'm like, okay, then, yeah.
But I think that's what I was like basically alluding to, that women, we can just go out there like rags. Like, I've had it before. Just, I don't really dress up like that anyway, but I could be out in a tracksuit and I've got male attention.
Yeah.
Whereas if a guy maybe who wasn't dressed up or wasn't looking as nice, I'm not even going to look in his direction.
Yeah.
I think that's what they was more like saying to, like, as a woman, it's so much easier for you to be able to pick, and you probably can get like 10 people coming up to you.
Yeah.
Because straight away men are visual. They look at you and go, whereas women were like, I'm not even bothered. Like, can you pay my bills? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what you want, innit? You don't want the stress.
It's got something to do with psychology of the brain, and it really, let's be honest. There's facts that support this. Yeah,
there must be. I just think, and at the same time, men need to be a bit more pickier. Like, they need to so not like, don't be desperate, but at this, do you know what I mean? Like,
stop being desperate, innit?
Just
like, don't be led by your willies. That's the thing. That's what I think it is. Because as a woman, we're not out there. Like, well, I can't speak for all women. But do you know what I mean? I feel like the majority of women, though, they're not led by the loins. No. And thinking, yo, my guy's sexy, let me go and try and chat with him and go and hook up with him. Whereas as a guy, they see women, you could be in a short skirt, you could be in a tracksuit. There's just something they see you bend over to pick something up off the floor, and straight away their minds go, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum.
I just thought something. You're completely right. Because listen, I don't know this man from Adam. I don't know his name. I could tell you his name today. Right? I've gone out with my niece. I'm wearing this red dress from Opoli. It is a very nice dress. It's one of those ruche ones, and then the boobs come like that.
I already know she's a fire. It's Opoli.
I'm not going to try and lie. I did look fire, right? But I look fire for me, not for anyone else. I just like to dress nice. That's just who I am. Anyone that knows me knows that. No matter where I am, whether I go to work, when I'm going out, even if I'm in the gym. See? Like, I just do. So then I've gone out with my niece, right? And it's one of her friends' birthday, and they've got bottles of Hennessy, and they've got bottles of Moet, whatever. And like, do you want a drink? So we're drinking, we're having a good time. I'm dancing. One guy just spins me around and goes, it's my birthday too, and you're my present. And kiss me. Pause. No consent. Let me just say that. There was no consent there. Then, it wasn't even like the kiss was like Hollywood moment, like, oh my dear, I found the love of my life. So it hurt because he bit my lip, and I don't mean playfully, that. Like that.
Wow.
Just thought, what? You don't even know if I haven't got herpes, but you don't even know if I've got herpes. Or, do you know something like that? You've just put your lips on mine and sucked off and got a lip and bit it like you're an aggressive animal. What are you doing?
What was your response to that?
I was drunk, so I was like, no! And then walked out. And then my niece was like, did he just? I'm like, yeah, let's go home. I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home. But it was crazy, because I just thought, only because you like the look of me, you thought I'm just going to kiss you. But I didn't go up to a man just because I thought he looked good and just be like, me.
Yeah, you're my present.
You're my present. What? But it was crazy because I just thought, only because you like the look of me, you thought I'm just gonna kiss you. But I never go up to a man just because I thought he looked good and just be like, me.
Yeah, you're my present.
You're my present. What?
This is another person that is messaged on Instagram, right? This says, listen, let me tell you something. I was at a wake last week, Friday. This guy was eyeing me up. I was with my daughter.
Oh.
She said, you know what? It was kind of cute, but the whole situation was inappropriate.
Facts.
I mean, what do you do? So she says, I paid him no mind. After all, I was with my child, first of all. So I'm not even going to be trying to talk to him, let alone being at a wake. She said, F my life.
For real, can we let the dead settle in the grave first? Can we, you know what I mean? Like, let him settle down, find his foundations or whatever. But you're already trying to be like, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because you're still alive.
Selfish. Selfish, making it about yourself.
No.
Yeah, someone else's moment. That's
You're not at a wedding, that's not too bad. Because everybody's but
a wake.
no.
Wait, and she's with her child as well.
Exactly.
And it's like,
Don't do that.
at least if anything, I think in them sort of situations, because you never know, they might have never, they've never met, obviously, by the sounds of it. He could have been like, speak to somebody else. Yo, do you know that girl over there? Could you get me her Instagram or something? Because it's a bit inappropriate round about now. Instead of just eyeing her up, and she's looking at him like, oof.
Yeah, like, I can
don't
see
even
you
want
seeing me. You see me seeing you see me. Stop.
Yeah, and it's
But you're going to carry on seeing me.
Yeah.
no respect.
None.